Psalm 91 verse 1. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Dwelling in God's secret place speaks of an intimate, ongoing relationship with Him, a place of communion far removed from life's hustle and noise. It's not a physical location, but the posture of your heart, where you consistently seek His presence through prayer, meditation on Scripture, and quiet trust. To abide under the shadow of the Almighty means living in the protective canopy of God's care, where His power and love cover you like a sheltering canopy. This verse invites you to make that secret place your daily refuge, where you draw strength before facing the challenges outside. As you commit to dwelling in this sacred space, you discover a serenity that transforms your journey. The storms may batter, but the one who holds you is mighty. In His shadow you find comfort, rest, and invincible peace. Abiding there isn't a one-time experience, but a lifelong habit, a continuous return to His nearness. When life's anxieties swirl, remember this promise. You have a secret dwelling with the Almighty, and nothing outside can reach you there. Psalm 91 verse 2. I will say of the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. This declaration is a personal confession of faith, a bold affirmation that God is both protection and stronghold. A refuge is a place of safety to which you run when danger looms. A fortress is an impregnable stronghold that defies every assault. By calling Him my God, you claim a personal relationship grounded in trust. Trust isn't a vague hope. It's a settled confidence in God's character and promises, born from knowing His faithfulness throughout history and in your own life. When fear whispers lies and uncertainty stalks your mind, speak this confession aloud. Let your heart echo, my refuge and my fortress. These words anchor your soul in truth, dispelling dread as you lean on God's protection. Every time you repeat them, you reinforce an unshakable foundation. Rain may fall, winds may howl, but within the walls of your refuge, peace reigns. Your fortress stands firm because it is built on the rock of God's unwavering love and power. Psalm 91 verse 3. For He will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. The snare of the fowler is a hidden trap laid by hunters for birds, sly, camouflaged, and cunning. Spiritually, it represents the subtle schemes of the enemy, temptation that looks harmless until you're caught. The deadly pestilence speaks of swift, destructive forces that threaten life and health. God's promise is twofold. He rescues you from hidden pitfalls and shields you from the visible dangers that threaten to destroy you. When you sense danger lurking, be it a harmful influence or a crisis, you can trust God to deliver you. He sees every trap and knows every whisper of harm before it touches you. His rescue may come through a timely warning, a change of circumstance, or a break in the chain of events. As you face each day, live with the assurance that God is watching over your path, ready to intercept snares and dispel deadly shadows. His deliverance is as personal as it is powerful, ensuring you walk free. Psalm 91 verse 4. He will cover you with His pinions, and under His wings you will trust. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. Pinions are the broad feathers of a bird's wings, the very parts used to shield and protect its young. Here, God is portrayed as a mother bird drawing her chicks beneath her wings. This imagery conveys tenderness, intimacy, and active protection. To trust under his wings means to lean into his protective care, surrendering your fears to the one whose truth is both a shield, deflecting harm, and a buckler, defending against every assault. When anxiety threatens to overwhelm you, imagine yourself nestled under divine feathers, safe from every harm. His shadowed cover isn't passive. It's an active embracing that guards your heart. His truth is the unchanging reality of his promises, forming a defensive barrier around your mind. In that place of trust, worry dissolves and courage rises. Rest tonight, knowing that nothing can penetrate the refuge of his wings or break through the shield of his faithful word. Psalm 91 verse 5. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day. Fear often prowls in darkness, literal or metaphorical, and strikes with terror when our defenses are down. But God's promise is that you shall not be afraid of these night terrors or even the arrows of danger in broad daylight. His protection isn't limited to the dark hours. It covers every moment, every circumstance, visible or hidden. Day and night, his presence is your safeguard against all that threatens to scare or harm you. Tonight, as shadows lengthen and worries creep forward, remind your soul, God's promise stands against every terror. Whether it's the unknown of tomorrow or the painful memories of yesterday, his presence dispels all fear. Awake or asleep, you remain under his watchful care. Declare his victory over every fright, letting his peace override the churning of your mind. No terror has power over you when you stand in the light of his promise. Psalm 91 verse 6. Nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that wastes at noonday. Disease and disaster often come unseen, creeping through the shadows like a silent killer, or tearing through lives in broad daylight with unmistakable fury. God's protection, however, shields you from both. Pestilence that walks in darkness reminds us of hidden threats, illnesses, lies, betrayals, while destruction at noonday highlights dangers that strike in plain view. Yet neither can touch those under his watch. When we face health scares, systemic crises, or any form of devastation, we don't stand alone. God's care stretches across every hour and every situation. Trust in his sovereign power to guard your life and the lives of your loved ones. His presence is a fortress in the shadows and a bulwark at high noon. Rest in that promise, knowing that the one who commands galaxies also commands every pestilence and disaster, shielding you from harm. Psalm 91 verse 7. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. This dramatic contrast underscores the intimacy and precision of God's protection. While multitudes succumb to calamity, whether war, disease, or personal tragedy, you remain untouched. This is not because you are better, but because God's faithful promise creates a space of divine preservation around you. It's a testimony to his power to isolate his people from the destruction visiting the world around them. As you encounter stories of loss and pain, let this promise steady your heart. You are not immune to empathy, sorrow, or compassion, but you are immune to destruction. Your life is held in the shelter of God's care. Let gratitude rise within you for each breathing moment, each safe step. While the world may reel, your path is preserved. This assurance kindles hope and emboldens faith, because the one who keeps you never slumbers or sleeps. Psalm 91 verse 8. 1,000 shall fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Repetition here emphasizes certainty. Calamity may surround you on every side, but it will not breach the sphere of God's protection. This is not mere hyperbole. It's a vivid portrait of divine security. Even when crisis looms, whether personal grief, global upheaval, or systemic breakdown, you have a refuge that remains inviolate. The promise is not of a trouble-free life, but of a protected life in which the assaults of the enemy cannot prevail. As events unfold in the world, economic, political, or natural disasters, hold fast to this truth. You may witness chaos, but you need not be consumed by it. God's care encircles you like a fortress wall. Stand firm in prayer, knowing your faith activates His protection. Let your trust be unshakable. Though multitudes fall, His promise ensures you stand secure, a living testimony of His steadfast love. Psalm 91 verse 9. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place. The protective promises of Psalm 91 rest on a condition. You must have made the Lord your refuge and the Most High your dwelling place. This speaks of intentional choice, of deciding daily to seek shelter in God's presence and to abide in His care. It's a posture of the heart, recognizing that every other refuge is insufficient. When you live with God as your permanent home, every promise unfolds, from deliverance to divine favor. Reflect tonight on where you've placed your trust. Is your heart settled in God's embrace, or do you clutch worldly crutches? Choose afresh to make the Lord your refuge. Invite Him into every room of your life, your anxieties, your plans, your dreams. As you dwell in Him, His promises become your reality. Protection, peace, and provision follow those who call God home. Psalm 91 verse 10. There shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague come near your dwelling. Here is the heart of the psalmist's assurance. No evil, no plague will strike where God's presence is claimed. This isn't a promise of absolute immunity for any who merely recite words. It's the guarantee to those who genuinely trust and dwell in Him. When your life is hidden in Christ, the evil one's fiery darts and pestilential schemes cannot breach your defense. Divine favor surrounds you. As you rest tonight, declare this promise over your home, your body, and your heart. Let it be a spiritual shield that deflects anxiety and fear. In a world marked by disease and danger, this truth stands firm. Under God's care, you are secure. Sleep in the peace of this promise, confident that His protective hand guards your dwelling from every harm. Psalm 91 verse 11. For He shall give His angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. God's protection extends through the ministry of angels, messengers commissioned to guard your every step. This celestial charge is not a vague idea but a powerful reality. Angels surround you, ready to intervene when danger threatens, to guide, to defend, and to deliver. You are never alone. Divine attentiveness watches over your comings and goings, your work and rest, your moments of decision. As you move through tomorrow, remember you walk beneath angelic care. When challenges arise, know that invisible allies stand at attention. Offer them silent thanks, and let this truth embolden you. No path is too dark, no trial too fierce. Under God's command, His angels pave the way, ensuring you never walk in solitude or peril. Psalm 91 verse 12. They shall bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Picture an angel gently lifting you in cupped hands, preventing even a minor stumble. This tender imagery reveals God's meticulous care for His children. The smallest hazards, unexpected obstacles that trip us up, are intercepted by heavenly guardians. Such attentive protection is a sign of deep love. God watches your details, from the grand to the mundane, ensuring your safety and well-being. When life's path seems uneven, and you fear a misstep, rest in the knowledge that divine support is ever present. You are cherished beyond measure. Every step you take is marked by God's watchful care. Entrust your walk to Him, and let His angels uphold you, preventing falls that could wound. In their watchful hands, you are wholly secure, each step an act of divine grace. Psalm 91 verse 13. You shall tread upon the lion and cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. This powerful promise speaks to victory over the fiercest threats. The lion and cobra symbolize the most deadly dangers, natural or spiritual. When God protects you, not only are you shielded, you are empowered to overcome. You don't merely evade harm, you triumph over it. This is symbolic of spiritual authority granted to those who dwell in God's presence. Fearsome adversaries are subdued under your feet. As you face your own lions and serpents, whether they are addiction, deception, or oppression, declare this promise. Through Christ, you have the authority to conquer every evil force that assails you. Walk boldly in faith, knowing that the power of God places you above every danger. Your victory is assured when you stand on His word and trust in His might. Psalm 91 verse 14. Because He has set His love upon me, therefore I will deliver Him. I will set Him on high, because He has known my name. God's promises of protection and victory are rooted in love and intimacy. When you set your love on Him, when you cherish Him above all, He responds with rescue and exaltation. Knowing His name speaks of relational knowledge, a deep familiarity born from devoted communion. It's not an impersonal vow, but a commitment of a loving father to his beloved child. As you meditate on this verse, rest in your identity as one beloved by God. Your love for Him unlocks His rescue and lifts you to new heights. In trials, you are His cherished one, and He will deliver you. In moments of doubt, remember you are known intimately by the Creator of the universe. His name is your strong tower, and in His exalted presence you stand unshakable. Psalm 91 verse 15. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. God's response to our call is immediate and gracious. When you call on Him, whether in plea or praise, He answers. His presence in trouble isn't distant or delayed. He is with you in the very depths of hardship. He rescues you and brings honor to your life, turning pain into testimony. This promise affirms that prayer is never wasted. Every cry rises to a God who listens and acts. As you face challenges today, call out to Him with confidence. In the dark hours, speak His name. In the quiet moments, offer your heart. You are never crying into the void. He is there, ready to deliver, ready to honor your faith. Let this truth empower your prayers, knowing each one invites divine action and presence into your circumstances. Psalm 91 verse 16. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. God's blessing extends beyond immediate rescue to a promise of longevity and ultimate salvation. Long life symbolizes abundant life, days filled with his goodness, health, and grace. More profoundly, he promises to reveal his salvation, the culmination of his redemptive work in us. This verse intertwines temporal blessing with eternal hope, a full life now and forever in his presence. Tonight, embrace this full orchestra promise. Pray for days enriched by God's favor and for the ultimate joy of his salvation. Trust that the same Lord who guards you in the storm will guide you through years of faithful living and, at the end, unveil the fullness of his redeeming grace. In his hands, life is both long and gloriously secure.